What is going on, YouTube, and everyone who plays Duel Links and those who don't care about Duel Links? Watch my channel. Got some new Yu-Gi-Oh content for you guys today. Today, I just want to talk about real quick what's coming in the future when it comes to the ban list, limitation list. Dojo's getting limited. It's getting moved to 2, and we talked about this before. About the idea would be to hit 6 Sams because they're not an EX deck. They're not a structure deck. They are a pack. In packs, it makes more sense to limit cards that come from packs than it does from structured decks and EX packs because those are, though people are buying those in threes, they're not, spending a couple dollars and, RNG helps them out in getting cards. No, they're going out there and buying the EX decks. And some of the EX cards do eventually get limited, but you don't want to hit those decks too soon. So Ancient Gears is not getting touched in this upcoming list so far, just like it's just she and Dojo. So when it comes to Dojo is a very crucial card in a 6 Sam's deck, but I don't think it was the only card that should have got hit. Now, I wasn't thinking Dojo would get hit. I was thinking Fuma would get hit. Fuma to me is the card they should have hit. Should move Fuma to 2. But Dojo going to 2, it does slow the deck down a little bit, but not as much as Konami thinks it will. Like moving Dojo to 2 just means you can plug in the trap card for 6 Sams, or you can plug in another magic card like a asceticism if you're not running asceticism. If you're running like 3 Dojos and 3 United and then the trap card, or just those 3 magic cards by themselves, or spell cards by themselves, now you're going to be like, well, now since I can't use 3 Dojos, I'll just use asceticism or a trap card in that spot. So you're not really affecting 6 Sams all that much by making Dojo a 2. So it's a little weird to me that they chose Dojo to be that card. I think Fuma should have moved to 2. If I would have touched, Dojo, I guess 2 makes sense, maybe. But I would have limited Shien to like 2. Would have limited Fuma to 2. To me, you have to like make a stand when it comes to wanting to change the meta. If the meta is too heavy on 6 Sams, then you have to hit 6 Sams hard, not just limiting one card. So you have to hit 2, maybe 3 cards. Quick edit just to talk about why they're making the change that they're making. They did leave a comment saying that this card will be placed on the Forbidden Limited list as it allows 6 Sam decks to constantly synchro summon Shien on the first turn, preventing their opponent from making plays. So moving Dojo to 2 because they feel like it allows people to play Shien first turn consistently. So before Bailey's even comes out or came out, I've started playing 6 Sams with Dojo at 2, and I still make Shien at first turn pretty consistently. So to me, making Dojo a 2 isn't going to fix the problem when it comes to Shien being consistently on the field first turn. The way you solve that is by hitting Fuma. You solve that by limiting Fuma to at least 2 or 1, as well as keeping Dojo at 2. You don't just hit one card when it comes to nerfing this deck. You want to nerf the deck. You want to nerf how often Shien gets on the field first turn. You hit more than one card, not just one card. So Dojo being hit doesn't actually affect the deck at all. Like I still get Dojo in my hand on a normal basis. I still get Shien on the field first turn on a normal basis. And even beyond that, I literally made a 6 Sams deck where I can get Red Dragon Archfiend first turn. So if I can do that, and that's a level 8, not a level 5, obviously I'm going to be able to get Shien on the field first turn with ease, because all it takes is just getting Fuma on the field. If you get Fuma on the field and you do the combo like Gaki and Inshi and Fuma, you can go into Red Dragon Archfiend. So if you just get Kageki and Fuma, and then you play another 6 Sam, you can go into different cards, and it doesn't take much. Especially using use Kageki and go to like Gemba. So you can get Shien first turn regardless of Dojo being limited or not. So quick video today, not going to be talking too much on Duel Links, but we got my toxic deck out, the Ancient Gears, the deck that everyone hates, even though it's probably the easiest meta deck to deal with. But again, I'm not playing Ancient Gears at 3. I've literally only bought Ancient Gears twice just to experiment with it. As I said in my last video, when it comes to my last video, but my first Duel Links video, I mentioned I only bought Ancient Gears for the 1,000 gems and a second time just to see what the fuss was about, just to see how good Ancient Gears were, how easy is it to just pilot the deck. I made my own alteration to the deck. But for the most part, most Ancient Gears deck perform exactly the same. And what I came up with, what I noticed when it came to playing Ancient Gears is each level you play them at, it becomes easier to play that deck. Like if you play Ancient Gears before the structure deck came out, it can get pretty bricky, and your main goal was to get to the fusion card. Then the structure deck came out, you play all that. If you just got it once, it's bricky. Every now and then you'll get a great hand and be able to go off, but for the most part, it was still a bricky deck. So then you go to 2, and that's when it starts to get more consistent, becomes good. Then at 3, it's when it's unbeatable. But again, even at 3, even with all the Ancient Gear cards at 3, when it comes to the structure deck, it's still the most, I won't say balanced, but it's still the easiest of the meta decks to get around. And when it comes to the meta, Ancient Gears, Six Sams, you build Nephis, Amazons. That's like the top 4 when it comes to the current meta. And so of those, it's easier to get around Ancient Gears than it is to get around the other meta decks. Ancient Gears, again, are not protected at all during the main phase or during your opponent's phases at all. Your opponent can do whatever they want to your Ancient Gears during their own turn. So if you have good enough back row or good enough card effects, Ancient Gears not gonna affect you at all. And part of what helps Six Sams against Ancient Gears is you can use Sheen's effect to cock block a lot of the spell card plays that an Ancient Gear player would do. You can do that with a lot of decks in the game. If you have back row, you can literally just stump Ancient Gears. You can use the ultra rare Karibo card. I forgot what it was called. I think it's Spiribo. You can use that to stop Ancient Gears from attacking. You can use Floodgate Trap Hole. You can use Sakuretsu Armor. Ancient Gears are very counterable when it comes to using back row and card effects. If you're not using back row and card effects, yeah, you're going to get curve stumped. If an Ancient Gear player is able to get off early, you're going to get curve stumped. So that's what I've noticed playing Ancient Gears. And for the most part, people do quit a lot, but that happens in this game in general. This game has a lot of people in it who, if right out the gate someone has a good board, it's over. And that's very common in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been a common conversation in Yu-Gi-Oh! About, is scooping, a bad thing. A lot of players do it, even in competitive play when it comes to tournaments. If someone builds a strong board, the opponent is just going to scoop. They're not going to deal with trying to get rid of that board if they know they can't get rid of it. But I would say when it comes to Ancient Gears, if you're sitting there struggling Ancient Gears, build your deck to counter around it. And what I've came up with some random decks that maybe I'll show you guys at a later date, where it can deal with Ancient Gears if you get that right hand. I know you have to get the right hand for it to work, but if you get that right hand, an Ancient Gear player cannot get off, and they'll probably quit because you're preventing them from getting the board that they need to get, especially if they're only running cards at 2 or 1. If they're running Gear Town at 1 or 2, then you prevent them from being able to set Gear Town from Gear Town's effect using making them misplay. If you the thing about Ancient Gears and their spell cards, you can literally just make them miss time, and that just kills the spell card plays. You can make them miss time on Forge, make them miss time on Gear Town, and that prevents them from getting the plays that they want to get going off. So again, Ancient Gears is very counterable if you know what you're doing. But again, you can say that with any deck. You can say that about Six Sand. You can say about you build Nephis. You can say it about Amazon. You can say that if you know what you're doing, if you're playing your cards right, if you build your deck to prepare for it, then obviously that's going to be an easier deck to deal with than it would be if you weren't doing all those things. But anyways, guys, that's for the video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. Peace out.